Imagine where your finances could be 6 months from now. No more living paycheck to paycheck, a fully funded savings account, your first investments growing in the background. 7 years ago, I was £27,000 in debt. Today, I've saved over £50,000 and built an investment portfolio. Not because I made more money, but because I learned how to make my money work for me. So if you're starting from scratch, here's exactly what to do over the next 6 months to transform your finances. Month one, stop guessing, start measuring. The biggest mistake people make isn't spending too much, it's trying to improve their finances without knowing where the money is actually going. The problem is our brains are wired to avoid uncomfortable information, so it's much easier to keep tapping your card than opening your banking app and seeing a number you don't like. But avoiding your finances doesn't protect you, it keeps you stuck. Clarity is what gives you control. So before you change anything, you need to know four numbers. How much money actually lands in your bank account each month? How much you spend on essentials like housing, food, and transport? How much goes on non-essentials like subscriptions and eating out? And after everything is paid, how much is left? That final number is the most important because it's the money you'll use to build your future, and you'll see it come up again throughout the video. If you don't know these numbers, don't worry. You're not behind, you're just missing information. I use a simple budget spreadsheet to track mine, and I've linked it below so you can grab a copy completely for free. Now, once you know your numbers, ask yourself one question. Why do I actually want better finances? Because the truth is, motivation doesn't get you through difficult times. Purpose does. For me, I was £27,000 in debt. I had no savings and I was tired of worrying about money all the time. I wanted freedom instead. That became my reason. So write yours down somewhere you'll actually see it. Because when motivation disappears, your why keeps you moving. But knowing your numbers doesn't change your finances. Taking action does. So the next step is building your first layer of financial security. Month two, buy yourself breathing room. The first £1,000 you save isn't important because of the number. It's important because it's the first time life can't completely knock you off track. Imagine your boiler stops working tomorrow, or your car suddenly needs a £500 repair. Without savings, that's a financial crisis. With savings, it's just an inconvenience. That's a huge difference. So this month, your goal is simple. Save your first £1,000, and you're going to do that using the disposable income you calculated in month one. If that feels overwhelming, don't worry. You don't have to save it all in 1 month. You can spread it out over 3 or 4 months. The important thing is that you start, because your brain naturally prefers spending money today over saving for tomorrow. Saving feels like giving something up, but you're not losing money, you're buying freedom for your future self. So make it easy by automating your savings, that way it happens in the background. Then you want to look for ways to cut back. I'm not talking about giving up your daily Starbucks here. Focus on the biggest three expenses: housing, food, and transport. That's where the biggest wins usually are. For me, that meant driving a cheaper car, shopping at Aldi, planning my meals, and cutting back on takeaways. I'd also call your utility and service providers and ask for a better deal. Most people never ask, which means they're often paying more than they need to. Now, saving protects you from unexpected emergencies, but there's one expense that can quietly undo all of that progress, which we'll tackle next. Month three, stop paying for past decisions. Here's something most people don't think about. Every pound of high interest debt is already spending your future income. Before your salary even reaches your bank account, part of it already belongs to someone else. That's why paying off high interest debt is one of the fastest ways to improve your finances. I'm talking about consumer debt here, like credit cards, payday loans, and personal loans. Not mortgages or student loans. They're usually lower interest and aren't the priority right now. Start by listing your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Then use the disposable income you calculated back in month one to pay off the highest interest rate debt first, because it will save you money over time. But here's one mistake I made. I threw every spare pound at my debt. Then 1 month my car broke down. I had no emergency fund, so I had to borrow money from a friend to cover the repairs. And I remember thinking, how did I get here? Looking back, this is what I do instead. If you've got £600 left each month, don't put all of that £600 towards debt. Maybe put £400 towards debt and £200 towards your emergency fund. It might feel slower, but it stops one emergency from undoing months of progress. At this stage, you're building two important things: discipline and protection. Those two habits will completely change your financial future. Now, paying off debt is one way to move faster, but there's another which we'll get into next month. Month four, create financial margin. By now, you're spending less, saving more, and making progress on your debt. But there's only so much you can cut, so money might start feeling a little tight. Eventually, you need to increase the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That's what I mean by creating financial margin. So look for opportunities to increase your income. Ask for a raise, switch jobs if it makes sense, or use a skill you already have to earn extra money. Even a small increase in income can accelerate everything. At the same time, start building your full emergency fund. So remember the essential expenses you calculated back in month one? Multiply that number by at least 3. That's your first target, because this is where money starts buying you something far more valuable than stuff. Options. If you suddenly lose your job, you don't have to panic. You have time to think clearly, find the right opportunity, and make decisions from confidence instead of desperation. Now, you want to keep this money in a high interest savings account that's easy to access but separate from your everyday spending. It's there to protect your future, not tempt your present. Now, once you've built your safety net, don't mistake safety for progress, because protecting money and growing money are two completely different skills, which brings us to month 5. Make your money start working. One mistake keeps thousands of people from building wealth. They confuse safety with growth. And I know because I did exactly that. After years of being in debt, cash made me feel safe. So even after I'd built my emergency fund, I kept saving. But eventually I realized I wasn't protecting my future, I was delaying it. So here's what I do instead. First, make sure you're getting your full employer pension match if it's available. That's free money. Then open a tax efficient investment account. In the UK, that's usually a stocks and shares ISA. In the US, it's something like a Roth IRA. Then keep things simple. Invest consistently into diversified index funds or ETFs. Forget finding the perfect investment. Time in the market matters far more than timing the market. The most important thing is simply to start. When I started, I could only afford to invest £250 a month. But over time, that became a 5-figure investment portfolio. Not because I picked the best investments, because I stayed consistent. So even if it's only £50 a month, start anyway, because this is the point where your money stops relying entirely on you and starts working alongside you. Now here's the thing. Building wealth isn't about finding one perfect investment. It's about building systems that keep working even when you don't feel motivated. So in month 6, build a system you never have to restart. Here's something I learned. Motivation is unreliable. It's fleeting. Some months you feel excited, other months you won't want to think about money at all. And that's completely normal. The people who build wealth aren't more motivated. They simply build better systems. That's why this final month isn't about working harder. It's about making your finances automatic. So start by automating everything you can. Set your bills on autopay. Automate your savings and investments so they leave on payday. Pay yourself first before you have the chance to spend it, and keep an allowance for fund spending in a separate account. Then schedule a monthly money date with yourself. I do mine on the first week of every month, and I check 4 things: my savings, my investments, if my net worth increased, and if my budget still reflects my life. Because things change and your finances should evolve with your life. Small monthly adjustments are much easier than trying to completely restart every January. That's why systems always beat motivation. They keep you moving forward even when life gets busy. Here's the most important thing I want you to understand. It's not too late, and you don't need to earn 6 figures to completely change your finances. You need a plan, you need consistency, and you need to keep taking the next step. I didn't turn my finances around because I was lucky. It happened because I changed the way I manage my money, one decision at a time. 6 months from now, you'll either be glad you started or you'd wish you had. So let me know in the comments, which month are you starting with? I'd genuinely love to know where you are in your journey. And if your goal was to save your first £10,000, watch this video next. It explains why that milestone changes far more than just your bank balance. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos on building wealth on a normal salary. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.